And what would you say is your biggest, what gets in your way? Like, what would be the thing that, yeah, prevents you from working, the thing that you find the most difficult challenge?
Well, that's a tricky one. Um, Probably a little bit overthinking here and there. Um, Excuses not to go to a site or a space.
Mm. So
Um,
you, so kind of, do you mean like your mind preempts what it's going to be like,
yeah, so I mean, I
and then you
think like with
say, I've done that before too. That's like, and I
yeah,
always regret it. I always
yeah,
regret
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
it's like photography. I think people respond to. I think photographers are often very anxious people.
Mm.
And photography kind of mitigates the anxiety, or the pre-visualizing of a situation is a way to preempt anxiety about getting to the space or experiencing something. But that
And what
also
the
kind of
outcome will be, because and
yeah,
you can't control that. You just
that's
can't.
about trying to control the situation. Yeah, totally. But I think it's if you hone that, it can be a really clever and interesting thing. So like when things are rapidly unfolding, and if you I mean observe a lot, so if you're watching groups of people, you can kind of figure out how something is going to unfold in front of you. So if it's some kind of dispute on the side of a road or something, you know where to go and stand because you know how this is going to unfold. You know where people are going to move, how things are going to play out in front of you. So it's kind of pre-visualizing. I mean, Gary Winogrand was a master at that stuff. The street photographers. It's like knowing when something's going to happen, just shooting so much on the streets. I mean, I'm not a street photographer at all, but being so much on the street, being able to read language, body language, and social interactions and what might unfold.
It's
Um,
also an interesting paradox you're talking about because you're saying like pre getting your gear and going out into the landscape or into the city or whatever, you can't control or anticipate what you're going to come in front, what you're going to come onto or into, and how that's going to play itself out. But when you're in the environment, in the landscape or stuff, there are patterns that then you can start to anticipate. So it's
yeah,
interesting how you can and how you can't.
yeah.
Um, that's
And
that's
then you're
fascinating.
also there.
You're
You're
also
also
there,
part of it. So
right?
yeah, you implicated in the entire mechanics of making the image. So
Right.
you can never escape that. And that's another interesting idea. I think a lot of photographers not really critical of themselves being positioned in spaces. And often, like look at a photograph and look at the position of the camera and the angle and how that you can literally read the anxieties in the image or the insecurities in how the camera is being positioned. Like if
Right.
that makes any sense, you can say,
It
okay, this
does.
person this decision, and that's a strange decision, but you can read the image in different kind of layers. If you,
It's
yeah,
interesting. It's interesting you say that. I just recently started working with the Human Rights Media Center, and I started to notice or pick up a hunch of the fear of the technology,
right,
and that was decisions that were being made, and just and it's exactly that. It's like a kind of anxiety that you pick up through the product or through the image or
yeah,
the work
yeah, it's like overworked or it's just labored too much, and it's like,
or
you know,
avoided. Yeah.
yeah, avoid those. Like, come on, people, it's a toothbrush. I mean,
Yeah.
just use it.
Ah.
Don't worry about it. Just take the picture. Move on. Don't need
Well,
all the
no,
lights.
you don't need all the
Yeah,
lights and all the technicalities. You don't.
yeah.